Hello, I want to ask you something. Do you have a son or a daughter who enjoy playing some violent video games? If your answer is yes, then maybe you worry about the aggression that will befall to your children. Everyone knows that playing some violent video games on consoles are enjoyable when you're playing alone. Maybe you're playing alone or with your friend. This time and right here in this video, I would like to persuade you guys who are watching this video to consider that gaming console and violent video games are definitely hurting our youth. Here I got three main points here, and the first one is structure and content matter of the game. The second is difficulty can also spark the aggression, and the last one is too obsessive to achieve something. So let us go straight into the first main point, which is, and let's see, based on the researcher Lavinia McLean and Mark Griffin, the structure of the game can be as expressive as the content of the games. It is also that the structure of the game basically referring to the rules of the game, which is now the game is played, how to use them, such as like a weapon, a material, or something else like related. Now we talk about the overall goal in the video games. For example, some FPS game, which is first person shooter game, asks the player who just started game to roam around the virtual world alone, killing anything in exchange for the point or rewards. According to the rule of the game too, that the rating games is play a role too, that is allowed the people like parents who want to choose and buy some suitable video games for their kids. And the next is imagery of each game. Children are easily influenced by such a violent things. Most of video games nowadays are conceptualized more to mindless thoughts. Then that type of the game literally will generate more negative side effect, especially to the young adult and below age than that, and will cause like hypnosis, which is based on my research. The way they are prone to uncritically observe image and themes from the game while tuning out the world around them. By now, let us not waste any time and go to the second main point, which is the main issue now is the difficulty can also spark the aggression. Those who play it, the first thing first, the aggression can define as the feeling or emotion of anger that can lead a violent behavior. This is because they are spent too much time on playing the violent video game, especially. Just a long time exposure to the violent video games will change the way of the youth thinking. Based on the study, an associate professor of psychology at Iowa University, the youth who are always repeatedly play violent video game will cause to think in aggressive ways and literally influence their behavior. After all of this happen, it will also affect their mind, emotion, which is slowing down their maturity level. Another thing is playing some violent video games is required the concentrations that can withstand such a game, like a brutal fight, blood, and more of it. However, let us look the last main point, that is the root cause in the topic. Now we know that to play some violent video game are the hurt the youth to begin with, right? But in general terms, those who play any games are always trying to achieve something, right? They are eager and passionate to get like a reward after completed the mission or quest, and yet repeatedly again. It takes full focus all in one in the only way to get reward or achievement. The youth will put their personal matters away, like their sleeping time from their reality world for an hour or maybe more than that, and enjoy the virtual world since they had a lot of free time. At the same time, all the enjoyable moment that they are playing with is may lead them into injuries and self-isolation. Any injuries like inflammation are normally happen to the gamers. And the prolonged gaming by the youth may decrease their own health rates, such as like obesity. And this one is most dangerous things to the young generation who still are growing up. Besides that, playing up 3 hours of violent video games at night especially can also disrupt sleep routine and do not get enough sleep for the next day, like sleepy, especially for young people who need 8 hours sleep time to relax their brain and bodies. I do believe this persuade might telling the truth of these matters and convince you guys to consider that violent video game is hurting the youth. As an adult person who care about the youth, we do not such a thing like that happen in upcoming future, and also we do not want the nightmare they will have. So personally, I took a quotation from very famous person nowadays. It is Elon Musk. Okay, if something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it.